So we're going to talk about
Yeah.
your mini album, if that's okay.
Yeah.
Um,
Awesome.
which I had a great listen to. It was fab.
Thanks.
And I don't, I'll be honest, I didn't know your band before I listened to the album.
Oh,
So
cool.
yeah, it was really interesting. And I had a little stock of some of your earlier stuff. Um, so yeah, tell me about the album. I read some of the stuff that's come out about the aftermath and what it kind of um, is centered around. But I'm quite interested in how is the album something that you've developed yourself or as a band together? Or is it a collective story, or how did you kind of pull it all together?
I've written most of it actually,
Yeah.
and it came kind of like an appendix or an add-on to the album we released last year. Uh, and it's sort of like sort of like an Silence is a Bomb is kind of like the it's the bomb, it's the screaming. I would say it's the reaction to something, and Aftermath is kind of the aftermath for
Yeah.
Silence is a Bomb. It's how I feel about
Ah.
it, at least. And but we kind of recorded Aftermath at the same time we recorded um, Silence is a Bomb as well. So they're pretty well connected in
Oh,
both sound and theme.
that's very interesting. Was
Yeah.
it difficult to record the two of them at the same time, or did you find it okay because they were separate ideas? Really?
Well, it wasn't like exactly at the same time we started. It was kind of an overlap, I'd say.
Right. Okay.
So yeah. So the one began where the other was half done or something like that, maybe.
Okay. Very
Uh,
good.
yeah.
Yeah. Um.
Uh,
And what was it? Was Aftermath recorded live? Is the playing on that you as a live band or?
and no, I think we recorded like drums and some guitars live, but otherwise it's recorded separately.
Ah.
Aftermath, the last track is very recorded separately.
Yeah.
it,
Well.
that was like I wanted to make an outro to set the vibe for something else, something that like yeah, I just wanted to make something. I'm not sure. I'm not sure what I wanted. Sorry,
That's
but
okay.
I developed that outro while we were recording. We didn't. We I hadn't wrote. I hadn't written that song and brought it to the band. It was like something that we developed in the studio,
Ah.
which is not something we often do.
Ah.
So,
That.
but what I was gonna say is that song is very separately recorded because, like, the last part is mostly me playing.
Yeah. And
Yeah,
it's quite that track is quite different to your usual stuff, is it? Would that be fair to say?
yeah,
Yeah.
I agree.
And
It's very fun because it's our longest song ever, and
yeah.
there's no vocals in it
Yeah.
except for like um me screaming ah or something like that. But otherwise,
Yeah.
that's pretty fun.
I mean, I loved it. I actually wrote down when I was listening to it. I was making notes about each of the songs, and for that one,
Yeah.
I just wrote epic. It's like it's
Ah, cool.
yeah. It just feels like an epic track and a fantastic ending to what you've tried to do in that album. And I wondered because it kind of it sounded like I understand what you're saying about it being recorded separately, and that's interesting. And the parts of the track felt quite separate too. It felt like well, I counted four different stages, and I
Yeah.
wondered if they were reflective of the stages of grief that you talk about in the work as a whole, or
No, actually not. But good. That was a nice reflection of it
oh, okay.
to hear that, and also like um, it was made in different steps as well. Because at first I only had the the part with the electronic drums and the organ playing, and you know when it becomes really thick with like heavy guitars and stuff and drums, like that calm part and the heavy part, and then I thought I was just gonna end it, but I figured I wanted to do something more, so it was very much like, okay, this is the song, but then a couple of months later we added like the last part with the piano and the strings and stuff.
Yeah. And that's actually, it's a beautiful section, that. But I think it's a fantastic track. And I also loved, one of your tracks, I think it's Svang. I don't know if I've said that right. That's the one that... Maybe I'm secretly Swedish or something, I don't know.
The thing is, it's actually not a Swedish word at all. It's like... it has two... if you just have one ä in it, it's a Swedish word. So you're pronouncing it perfect.
Svang, okay,
no
good. And what does it mean? I haven't looked it up. I thought I'd just ask you.
Sväng means turn, or what would you say? Here's Oscar.
Oh, hi. Hi.
Sväng.
It's turn around or
turn or maybe groove. You know?
Groove, yeah.
Oh, groove. Well, so oh, okay. Oh, that's interesting.
So it can mean, yeah.
I'm a very big vinyl lover, so I find that very interesting.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah. Well, that's the track that I thought, oh, has this been recorded live? It the mixing on that was great. It sounded like it had been recorded live in the studio. It was really good. And then I guess Jim and Kate is probably your probably most crowd-pleasing track on it, would you say?
Maybe, or Fifth Try, I think also is pretty crowd-pleasing song. Yeah. But I agree, the chorus is pretty... it's a pretty catchy melody.
Yeah, it's good. And has it been released as a single?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
I think it was the last single.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. The only other thing I jotted down that I wanted to make sure I asked you was about the photograph that was taken of you as a band, with the van and then the band laid out.
Yeah.
On it, because I'm a photographer, like I'm a full-time photographer, so I find it very interesting, the shot, and I just wondered what it was about and how it came about.
It was actually Martin who plays bass. We saw, he saw a couple of pictures of both, like I think it was ambulance personnel and also. Firefighter personnel. They had those photos, like they had all their gear and the cars laid out and themselves, so it looked like a Lego kit. So we just thought, hey, we want to do the same thing, so we stole it.
Like all good things.
Yeah. But it turned out great. It was very fun, and that was so much fun, because it was like, when taking band photos, it's so hard to imagine it being good if it's not a good idea. But this was a really good idea, so it just felt like you were you wanted to make the best of it the whole time. It was really cold. We were like having, I think everyone had a cold after taking that, because the floor was concrete, and I think it was like November, December when we photographed or something. But you know, like, we just, you had this vision of it being very good, and it turned out pretty good, so I'm happy you like it.
Yeah, it's really good. You suffered for your art then, that's good. I'm glad to hear it. Yeah. That's what you need to do. Yeah. Was there anything that you wanted to say about the work or the album that we've not chatted about? I'm just flicking through my notes as well.
I'm not sure. I think we covered it pretty good. It was, no, think I'm good.
Was it fun to make? Were you pleased with it? And do you think you'll enjoy playing it live?
Yeah, we're rehearsing now. We're going to Spain in 2 weeks on tour, and we're so excited. And the new songs are very fun to play, so it's gonna be great. And recording it was very fun. What I think is a great thing in life right now is that for every record it gets more fun recording, because you learn to make it faster.
Yeah.
The thing is, when we did the first record, it was so stretched. It was such a stretch out process. And making the other album, you kind of took that in and realized I need to do something about this. And then I started music production and discussed with people, and we learned about like peer-to-peer learning, how to manage that thing of like doing something for too long of a time, and that's not a good idea. So I get better at it, and that feels very good, and it's much more fun and gets much more creative then.
Yeah. And it's interesting because your music is very high energy, and so I guess recording it, you want to keep that energy up and make sure that people don't start to flag. Yeah,
of course. Yeah. And I think in every creative, when you're doing something creative, you want to be in that state of flow all the time. It's hard, but it's something I think that's to strive for, at least.
Yeah.
To, when you're in the studio, find that sense of like spirit, like kind of a spiritual state. So sometimes it's hard, but when you're there, you need to just go for it,
Mm.
So, but anyhow, it's you get better at it, and that's very fun.
Yeah,
that was my point. So
yeah.
This one was fun to record.
Oh, that's cool. And that's a really nice philosophy. That's a really good philosophy to have for recording your music. I like it. Mm.
Yeah, thank you.
Right. Thank you. It's been lovely to chat to you.
Same to you.
And thanks for your time.
Thank you for waiting, and sorry again.
No, it's fine.
Really...
While I was waiting, I was preparing Instagram posts, so it's fine.
Oh, good.
About different stuff, so there's always something to do, isn't there?
Yeah, it is.
And yeah, good luck with all the live gigs in Spain then. Enjoy.
Thank you.
Right, thank you, and I hope the album does well.
Yeah, I hope so too.
Okay.
See you.
See ya. Bye. Bye. Bye.
Bye.